Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Welcome, Cancer, to Channel Future Tarot. My name is Bella. Today we're going to do something a little different, a little unique. And maybe it'll be for some, maybe it won't, right? Not everybody's going to like this reading. It's basically overcoming heartbreak. Now, whether you're in love, in a current situation, or you've just come out of a relationship that left you really heartbroken, we've all experienced heartbreak in our life. And I designed this spread to sort of break, down the boundaries of healing, because sometimes we can be really rigid in our own self-healing, plans, and the way it's working out for us is not, somebody else is doing it differently and it's working better for them. And so, there's no one, size fits all when it comes to healing. But, socially, I think it's expected that way. So, I don't know. This could help, maybe not. Check it out. So coming into this reading, I did take out 2 cards. Can't technically see them here yet from a healing deck. We'll read them at the end. They'll be, I'm hoping to be really powerful and resonant with you. As I was coming into the energy, I did meditate, and I did get your major, kind of the moon card, which, Cancer is you anyway. So I feel like you are in a very powerful time. You're in a, Jupiter was in your sign. You're in a powerful energy of growth and, understanding. But as a water sign, it's been a deeply tumultuous time. It's been one with, I feel like I keep feeling like tripolar moods, but, in that sense of just so emotionally everywhere, right? You're happy. It's just because everything is hitting you at a really fast energy, speed. So I feel like that's been a lot for you to process. We have reconciliation coming in. Someone from your past could be returning to your life. I feel like that is all going to be each and every team dependent. Everyone will feel or be doing something different in that regard. And it doesn't necessarily have to be love. We got religious factors as well. Your love life could be being influenced by the way your religious upbringing or your current spiritual or religious beliefs could be impacting a situation. I don't know how I ever feel about that card, because I'm like, if you guys aren't on the same wavelength, you cannot force 2 different things to ever work out. It's just, you can't. So, beliefs are beliefs, and sometimes 2 worlds cannot come together if both people are not willing to have that open mind. So that's all I'm really going to say on that energy. We have number 11 coming out here. Look to your inner strength. You're stronger than you realize, Cancer. Absolutely you are. And I think you're more now than ever finding that within yourself. You're getting down, digging deep in within self and looking at, your own inner resilience, how far you've come in terms of this heartbreak. And how much healing you have done, even though it may not feel like a whole bunch in the moment. We have 31 coming out. Love makes the difference. Love helps heal past hurts. It provides a sense of security and self-worth. Absolutely it does, right? The right kind of love will do wonders, but if we're not ready, we're not ready. And if we get into a love situation, a new one, that we're carrying the baggage from the past, then we're often going to experience similar things, right? So yes, love can make all the difference, but it is got to be the right time, space, and place for it, okay? We are going to jump in to this spread here, Cancer. Each position has a specific meaning. We're going to dive into what that means for you, and then we can clarify anything we may need to if you'll want to, if it's not giving us a lot of accuracy on that question. So the first position is the ashes, so to speak, so the foundation of your pain. Now, this is what the significant wound is around this heartbreak, right? So we'll take a look at that for you. Ashes. Let's go take a look at the foundation of Sun, Rising, and Venus signs. Cancer's pain. The foundation of Cancer's pain. The Queen of Wands. Okay. So that could be you and your passion. It is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. This could be the source in a sense, because we're asking the foundation of your pain. It could be a fire sign, masculine or feminine. That is not, don't pay so much attention to that. But this could be a fire energy that is quite strong, quite passionate, quite rooted in their self. And that could be or it could be the you kind of not being rooted within yourself enough. The spark, we're going to take a look at the inner resilience here. So what your inner resilience at this time is, Cancer. You know, I feel like it reveals that strength, you know, your inherent strength, that capacity for healing, you know, what inner resources that you have right now that you could sort of, or that you do possess to help you overcome this. Love, it heals everything. It truly does. Sounds so cliche to say, but right now you're like, I'm trying to get over that. No, it's going to be really beneficial for you to open your heart up again, right? Open up your capacity to love again. Staying hurt and bitter and in that energy, just putting that energy out there, you're getting more of that back in. So be mindful of that as well, Cancer. Open your heart to love again. You know, that's how you can overcome this pain, is by, you know, loving self and you know, understanding that that's their journey now, right? That's their journey. We're going to take a look at what the smoke is, what the link, well, that just, I couldn't see that, but the flew right over. The, you know, King of Wands, interesting. We're going to take a look at the smoke, the lingering, the doubts, the fears. So it's kind of hanging around. This is going to highlight any remaining insecurities that you may have, or anxieties, trust issues that might be, you know, clouding judgment, holding you back in terms of love right now. I think it's important that we look at those things as well, right? The Ace of Wands is coming out in reverse. Another fire energy. So, you know, and ironically, it's coming out in reverse, pointing directly at that Queen of Wands. So, right now, some passionate inspiration, I feel like that what is lingering, the doubts, fears, is you not having that passion, the belief that there's a new opportunity in regards to love or your heart there. There's a little bit of stagnance there. There's, you know, what is lingering is that ability to not let that go, right? We're going to take a look at what the Ember is, what lessons that were learned here. Remember, we're going to break this all down in a second too, Cancer, so don't be too alarmed. We got that Fool card. So the Embers, this is the lessons learned, right? You needing, you know, maybe you were a little naive. But for some of you, I think this is the lesson that you need to have that ability to be naive and take that childlike innocence again. That just because it may not have worked out the first time, it does not mean it was not meant to work out, right? And I feel like that's important to look at that Fool card as a sense of, you know, I don't feel like naive is being necessarily wrong, right? Because it's just not knowing, right? So we'll break that down in a second. We're going to take a look at the wings, the opening up to new possibilities here in love. The King of Swords in reverse. Well, I don't see some new opportunities coming in with that. I feel like a little bit shrewd and, you know, clear cut. Your mind is clouded. He's in reverse. He's not getting enough information. And that's what is stopping you from opening up to new possibilities. You don't see enough potential in something. You don't see enough, you know, maybe, I feel like for some of you, you're like, yeah, that was it for me. Like, that's all that I was meant to have in terms of love. There's no more. And I feel like that's not accurate. I feel like you need to let that go. You know, there's crucial lessons that sort of you gain from that heartbreak, yes, but this is what you can, you know, use to move forward, right? So you're not staying stuck in that energy. Let's take a look at what the ascent, like the ascension is, you know, your current sort of romantic energy, whether you're in a relationship or not. A 10 of Cups. Okay. So I feel okay. This is positive. This is a greater than a wish fulfillment card. This is you, but this is you hoping, right? This is in your mind, you manifesting that happy life, that, you know, white picket fence, that, you know, security in your partnerships. And I think that's important, right? This is definitely that predominant energy that's surrounding whatever current romantic energy you're feeling, right? So I like that for you. It says, you know, but it also indicates endings, new beginnings, which I think is also positive there for you in that position. We'll take a look at the guiding star here, the path forward for you in terms of love is the Two of Pentacles. Balance, just balancing head and heart. I like that for you. You know, yin and yang, that equal but give and take is what's gonna you know, navigate your relationships in the future, right? Having that give and take, you know, having that honest communication, that's going to be very helpful to you at this time. And we're going to take a look at the dawn for you, my friends. The dawn. We're going to take a look at the dawn for you. Woo! And there we went. Whoa. That was crazy. We just lost a whole bunch of cards here. One second. We just had a little bit of a spill. Okay. Not sure what that was about. I totally bent one card too. Okay, so we're taking a look at the dawn again. We're going to try that one more time. We've got that Five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, the dawn is what the potential outcome here is. And that is, I feel like, you letting go of the conflict of this person, the conflict that you had in the past with this person. You got the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck, also in reverse here, letting go of the sleepless nights, the worry, the animosity that's keeping you a little bit stuck and stagnant. And I think that's important for you to do at this time, right? This sort of Queen of Wands energy, like I said, this is, like if you see the way that's coming out in the spread, right? So it's like pointing fingers to what has been the foundation of this pain. And, you know, whether it's masculine or feminine, there's a sense of this person is sort of strong-willed and passionate, but they're a little bit of a bully, I feel like, in that regard. I don't always see the Queen of Wands that way, but I do in this energy. Can I clarify that Queen of Wands for Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Cancer. Can I clarify that Queen of Wands? They're stuck together. Okay, that Eight of Swords, that restriction. This was a restriction. You felt like they kept you restricted, but I feel like it is a restriction of your own making that you had to sort of release, let go of. And you were starting to see that very much in the recent past. The foundation of this pain was your own restriction keeping you tied to this person that was just generally a bully. You got that Hangman card coming out also in reverse. They always kept you in a state of flux, not knowing where you stood or where you were with that person. And they kept you always feeling like it wasn't enough or you couldn't do enough, you needed more. I had to do more. And that King of Cups, that emotional balance. They were emotionally, I want to say like a master of their own emotions, but not in a sense of a real positive way. This is somebody that uses their ability to master emotions to get what they want in the situation or get, experience that energy with you, right? So we're going to take a look at what that lingering smoke is here. That Ace of Wands. I'm curious about the Ace of Wands. So can I take a look at what the lingering sort of doubts and fears are here for Cancer? Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so it could be rooted around that stability, that prosperity, the abundance, what you work towards with this person. King of Wands again in reverse. Okay, so definitely this could there's a power dynamic that's in shift here, not a very positive one. The Emperor Aries coming in here as well. This is very much an authoritative figure. This person really, really, really is creating the doubts within yourself. You have to get back, you can take back the control and the authority of your life and your situation, Cancer. And that is definitely going to be very apparent here. We're going to take a look at the lessons learned here with that Fool card. Can I clarify that Fool card for Cancer, please? King of Swords, again in reverse. And that's what's in your sort of the opening up to new possibilities. So what is it that you're just not seeing clearly the possibilities? Judgment in reverse as well. This awakening that is your Ten of Cups moment. This is your awakening. Yes, this is the lessons that you need to learn is that, everything is a reason to season our lifetime. This person wasn't your end all be all. As much as it hurts to set them free, this was not your person that you were meant to be with forever, because it just is coming in. That Ten of Cups twice out here is indicating that's coming in for you. It may have felt like your 10 of Cups for a short period of time. And often, you know, the false twin flame energy does, right? We always, you know, when you're in love, it feels like the best love, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's, can I clarify that King of Swords, please, in reverse? Since we've got all 4 kings out here, right? So, 4 swords, sleepless nights, worry, anxiety, that's what they cause at the end of the day. You have also the Ace of Pentacles and opportunity coming in. That is, they just prevent it from coming to 10 of Swords. Oof. This is that betrayal, the end. This is what needs to be, there's, what opens up to new possibilities is you letting this be dead and gone. There's no more, it has no place in this situation anymore, right? Cancer, this is time for you to seek balance within your head and heart. And this, you know, yeah, this heartbreak was a darn lesson in your heart. But you, at the end of the day, take what is, you know, meant for you and move on, right? There's the positivity in this. Can I clarify that 5 of Pentacles in reverse for Cancer? 6 of Pentacles, yeah. You're going to get your wealth, your prosperity. It's going to come in from you once you move. That balance that's required, that 4 of Wands around your foundation is possible. You just have to get it and believe it, because right now you're not seeing it. The Empress in reverse. You got to nurture your possibilities and your prospects, you know, into being here. Nurture your heart back to a healthy state of being, so that you're, you know, again, you're mending your heart, you know, and healing, and it is ugly and it's emotional and it is a process. There's nothing glorious about it, so embrace it, right? Because it is powerful, and it can be just as, you know, debilitating as love can be, right? So we're going to take a look at these 2 cards for you. I will read them from the book. If you don't feel like sticking around to find out what they are, feel free. They're just short passages. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We have 43, Karma of Catahoula coming out here for you, Leo, or Cancer. I don't know why I thought Leo. I'm not happy with that was about. So you have your sacred soul passion is powerful enough to shift the state of your inner reality and your outer experience. So commit to what truly ignites your heart, and do not be dissuaded by anything or anyone. If you are seeking to make a commitment, do so when it truly connects you to your heart. Follow your genuine, meaningful bliss. Know that no matter what appears to be, you shall prevail and you shall rise. And we have 32 Vasa of poverty coming in for you as well, Cancer. There is a gentler way to proceed and obtain the same or even greater effect. Tame the wild and frenzied workings of the mind of grounding yourself with beauty, pleasure, and grace. Violence and its negative effects shall be overcome and healed through feminine gentleness and inner spiritual strength. This oracle is a sign of future great happiness. Bam. It is coming in for you, Cancer. Wait, open your heart to this, and let this sort of process. Don't rush this feel. This is the heartbreak that's for your harmony. Until next time, Cancer, namaste.